Hello, welcome to Engineer's Box. Now, today, by popular request on Twitter, I'm going to do a tutorial for the custom blocks. Now, I've got a couple of things in mind. I felt like we should do something, maybe give an improvement to Minecraft, add something a little bit different. So in this case, what we're going to do is add a new model. In this case, the model is going to be, let's do a new set of stairs. Why not? And we're also going to add a new block. So both of these are going to be the same of each other. They're both going to be a variant of a stone sort of feeling, like a cobblestone, a refined cobblestone, and a refined cobblestone stairs. So first of all, let's jam on our resource pack, take off the original one, and we'll put on the custom blocks resource pack here. So as we wait for this to load, I've actually got a stone brick texture already made up, and I've got the basic structure of stairs already made. So I think we can just use those today to give you a bit of an insight into how we actually create these custom blocks. So before we go any further, I'd just like to show you what blocks you can actually use with these custom things. So you can have any of the leaves, ladders, trapdoors, end rod, iron bars, any of the fence gates, fences, any of the glass, shulker boxes, any chests, lamps, glowstone, beacons, daylight sensors, hoppers, anvils, any doors, any plants you want. Absolutely every plant can be retextured, including vines and stuff like that. I mean, reblocked, quote unquote. All of the carpets, all of the beds, all of the variants of snow. I mean, you could even do cobwebs if you wanted to, even if that's what tickles your fancy, I guess. You could do plant pots, skulls, pressure plates, rails, any stairs or slabs, jack-o'-lanterns. Now, you can't actually do the normal pumpkin because it's considered a non-transparent block, but this is a transparent block, so you can use it. And it's also actually quite a really nice lighting source, as well as the beacon and so forth over there. You can even do cake if you like. Who knows? If you wanted to make like a food item that's placeable, you could do the cake, you could do the cauldrons, or you can do the brewing stand. So any of these items at all, so you've got so many choices in terms of what you can do, so much functionality here. Any of these blocks can be used, absolutely any of them, as the base constituent. So when you create your custom blocks, any functionality that any of these blocks has, it will take on that functionality. So if you create like the crate over here, I have, if you saw the previous video, if you have a chest inside this, then, well, maybe you could retexture the chest so it wouldn't have the top and this little bit here, and you could have a working crate, something you can store items. Yeah, you create ores and stuff, completely up to you. But today we're going to create a variant of stone. So let's jump into the resource pack files and let's get started. Okay, so we're in the resource packs now. So if we take a look through this, we can see that I've got the custom blocks file here in the .minecraft folder in the resource packs. So if we open this up, you'll be greeted with the assets folder. So if you just go on through here, go to Minecraft, and now we've got the file structures that we want to work with. So first of all, let's create the new block, the one that we want to do. So what we're going to want to do is before we do anything, just make sure that you've got your directory open so it's easy to use, easy to manipulate and do things with. And let's head into a block editor or a block creator. In this case, I'm going to use Mr. Crayfish's, just because it's my preferred one to go to. So let's jump in here. So if you jump in here already, this setting that it's got here is the exact width and length of a block. So if we create a new object over here, and let's make it a full block, 16 by 16 by 16. There we go. So there we go. All good, fine and dandy. So the reason we're creating a model is because we need something to put the texture on top of. And this is just going to be so that we can overlay our block of choice, whether it be stairs or just a normal block. So in this case, let's go with this. And now let's texture it. So we'll go to the faces, and now we can retexture it. So we've got the north side selected, which happens to be this one over here. So if we take an image here and we import it, now if we go to the file directory that I've got here, I've already got it in here, so we can use that. So this is the texture that we're going to use. It's kind of like a refined cobblestone sort of thing, a bit more cartoony. I thought it might be cool to play around with. So why don't we retexture each of these sides just by clicking on the side over here and then putting the texture over the top of it. Really simple, not too hard, shouldn't take too long. Let's do the up, put that texture on, and down, and apply that. There we go. So now we've got our block here. It's all textured, everything's all good. So what we want to do is just export it. So we've got the file, export the JSON, and we'll call it refined cobblestone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in, actually, I'll copy that. We'll go to %appdata %, and oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let's go back over here, and we'll go into, I'll just pull up the inventory for it. So we go to the Minecraft folder, so the assets and so forth, the one that we're in before. Go to that directory. There we go. I'll just move that. I'll move that later on. There we go. So now we're in our folder now, the one that we use for the texture packs. So we'll go into textures and blocks, and this is where we're going to put our new texture. So we're going to call it refined _ cobblestone. So actually, no, my bad, not textures. We're going to go into models, and then in item, because what we're doing is retexturing a golden shovel with the damage value and putting this model over it. So we're going to put it in here, and we're going to call it, as we know, refined cobblestone. There we go. Export that. Now it's in there. Now it's all good to go. So we can exit out of this now. If we go back into here, go into our models, item, and you can see that refined cobblestone is in there. Now, all we have to do now is take our texture here and go down into textures, into blocks, and drag this texture into there, so now it can use it. Perfect. Now that we've got a block that's working, it's got a texture, it's got a model, so now let's move on to retexturing a damage value of the golden shovel. So if we open this up into Notepad right here, you can see there's a couple things going on. I might turn off the transparency. So these layers here, overrides, basically change based off the damage value. In our case, the damage value, it will change the model. So if it has damage of 1, which happens to be this value, then it will replace it with tester, which is that blue ore. And if it's 2, then it will replace it with the block. So now let's do another one, and we'll replace it with our refined cobblestone texture. So if we go here, and we've got to change it to refined _ cobblestone. Oh, there we go. Now you notice that the item directory here is item. Now remember, that was the reason that we placed it in the item folder, the same folder as the golden shovel, because it's easy to access, and that's where we're going to store all of these files, just so they're all in one place and you can get to them really quickly, and it makes it easy to deal with in the files. So there we go. It's called item refined cobblestone. So now if we want to find out the damage value for 3 on a golden shovel has a total damage of 32. So what we do is we do 3 divided by 32. I'm just doing this on my phone right now. And what we get is 0.09375. Perfect. So now if we have a damage of 3 on a golden shovel, it'll give it this model. All good. We're pretty much ready to go for this one. The only final thing we need to do is change the way it displays. So the refined cobblestone, we'll bring this up into here. Now you can see it doesn't actually have any display tag in here, so it doesn't actually render in the way that we want at the moment. So in this case, the box here has its own rendering version, and so does the test here. Basically the way this works is it's just changing the way that this item is displayed pretty much. So we're going to copy this from the test texture right here, this display tag, and we're just going to stick it right there. So now it's going to be the exact same as the other blocks, such as the test or the box. So if we save that, and now that's all ready to go. So I'm just going to, actually no, we'll keep the transparency off. We'll back out of that. So now we've got that in there. We've got it reassigned, retextured. It's all good, all ready to go. So far we're all good. Now the last thing I want to do is this part is optional. This will only apply to you if you're going to use Optifine. And this is just retexturing the egg item that we used to spawn in the block to have that block texture. So what we do is go into MC Patcher, CIT, which stands for Custom Item Textures. Go in there, and I've got a folder called Custom Blocks. So now in here you can see I've already got the ores and things like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to copy one of these, copy one, and paste it, and we're going to rename it to refined underscore, oh, not cobblestone, cobblestone dot properties. Okay, so now the only other thing we got to do is grab this, stick it here, and we'll go back into our textures, into our models, into our item, and we'll copy over our refined cobblestone.json into here as well, and we'll give it a different way to render. So now if we open up this properties file with Notepad, and we also open up the other one, oops, wrong one, the refined cobblestone.json into here, move that into here. Now what we can do is really simple, oh no, that didn't actually open, so we'll bring that in, boop, like that. So in the refined cobblestone, the properties, what we're going to do is basically we're searching for a type. So in this case it could either be a block, an item, an armor piece, an enchantment, pretty much anything really, an effect, lots of things you can change the textures of. Type equals item, so we're looking for an item, and then match items basically, okay, so this is the item that we're looking for, in this case a spawn egg. And now we're going to replace the model, not with blue ore, with refined underscore cobble, oh, wrong one, cobblestone. Basically that means that it will look for, in the same folder that this refined cobblestone.properties, it will look for the one called refined cobblestone, the .json file. So now that we've got that in there, it can look for it, and it is in there. And also the I pattern, so mbt.display.loc name. So MBT just stands for the MBT data of an item. Display is the display tag, so in this case we're using the display tag with LOC name, which is a variant of name. Name, if you use just name in a display tag, you'll get an italicized version of it, so it's written in italics. And this means that it is exactly the same as renaming it in an Anvil. LOC name, however, is different. This is giving it an absolute value of a name rather than giving it an alternate name. Basically, that means that you cannot achieve this any other way. You can't rename an item in an Anvil and get the same texture. So it's just a really simple way of making sure that you can't just cheat around if you're using this in, say, a command pack or something like that. So we're going to look for the name refined cobblestone. Yep, all good. So now what we're doing is we're looking for the name refined cobblestone, and it's a spawn egg, and then replacing it with that model of refined cobblestone. Now the final thing we need to do in refined cobblestone is replace this one. So remember, we've actually got two refined cobblestones now. The original file is for the actual block itself. Now this one is going to be for the item in your inventory. So the way this one works is if we take a peek into, say, the box.json in here, if I close the rest of these off, the box.json in here, open it up, it has these tags right here. Now the way these work is they just change the way it renders in your right hand, in first person, third person, in your left hand, first person, third person, on the ground, and in your inventory or GUI. So if we just replace the display tag like so with these, now we should be all good and it should be ready to go. So let's just make sure we've saved all of these, and we'll close this one off. We'll back out of this, and now this is all good, all ready to go. So let's jump back into game and check out what our work has come to. Okay, so we're back in the game now. So now that we've got that resource pack all saved, what you want to do to reload the resource packs is hold F3 and then press T. And this will perform a function of reloading the resource packs. So if we just wait a few seconds for Minecraft to do its thing, any minute now it should have the resource packs reloaded and all of the new textures built in. And there we go. Also, in this one, the problem was a comma. It's as simple as that. And that's the thing about these JSON files. You've got to be really, really careful with how you deal with them, because they can be really, really finicky. Now you can see that we've got the refined cobblestone in our inventory, and it works perfectly, all well and good. So we can place it. So let's work on the destroying of this. Just going to grab these three over here, like this. Now what these do is we first of all place this one down, which is just detecting the rabbit, well, detecting the armor stand. Remember, we named the armor stand block 2, so it's something different. Now every time you create these blocks, you got to have a different name for them. So then basically it's just detecting that there's air underneath it, so you've destroyed the block that's there, and then it's going to kill that armor stand. And from there, we're just going to change this so that we're going to give ourselves the block again. So we're going to call it refined cobblestone there, and we're also going to change the name of the egg to refined cobblestone as well, like so. And then from there, basically that's all good. And the last one is just removing the cauldron or whatever block that you use in the last one. So I used a cauldron so that in survival you don't actually have any problems with picking up any of the destroyed entities or anything like that. So now, if we place one, it's there. If we destroy it, boom, we get one back. That's all good, and it works perfectly. Boop. Oh, there we go. Now there's our first problem right there, is the item isn't identical. So we've got to work out why. Why isn't our item identical to the other one? So if we go back in here, let's have a look around. The name, custom name, refined cobblestone. This one is, there we go. RCBBL. Remember, that was the, we've got to remember that. RCBBL. You got to keep all your names identical. RCBBL. Remember, that was the rabbit that we're looking for in here. So now if we place it, whoops. Now if we get ourselves the original egg, we place it, it works. Destroy it, there we go. It works, it stacks in there. Perfect. Now, there we go. We've actually just created our first block. And it's really simple. Just using these command blocks, we've created this block right here. That's pretty cool, don't you think? So let's move on to the second block. We're going to create a slab version of that. I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty, so now that we're back in the back on our desktop, we're going to open up Mr. Crayfish's model generator again so we can create a new one. This time we're going to create a slab. So what we're going to do is create a new block, make it 16 by 16, then we're going to make it 16 by 8 by 16, so we want it exactly half so that it fits the dimensions of a slab. Since that it's 16 by 16, so you halve it to get a slab dimension. Perfect. So what we're going to do from here is just retexture the faces with the image that we had before. So I'm going to import it. I'm just going to go back to the file system that we had. I'm going to go to the textures, the blocks, and grab this, put it in here. There we go. And that's stone brick. So if we apply it on all of these sides, and north, the east, we're going to apply it. Down on the south side, apply that. Then on the west side, we're going to apply it. Then on the upside, we're going to apply that. And on the downside, apply it. Perfect. So now we can actually adjust the textures over here. So we're going to make it so that it's actually just the bottom half of this texture that it takes. There we go. So now that looks a lot better now. Looks more like a slab than it did before. So now that we have this all made, all ready to go, this slab, let's export it and take it into Minecraft. So we'll export the JSON and we'll go back into that file directory. But instead this time we're going to go back to our models. Remember, we're going to put it in item, and what we're going to name it is refined. So we're going to call it R cobble. So refined cobble, I can't spell, cobblestone slab, just so it's easy, intrinsic, you can understand it perfectly. So let's export it. Boom, done. We can close the creator. Now we can see that it's in here, all ready to go. So remember, we have to take in the we have to go back to our models, item, there we go, there's the slab right there. Remember, we have to go back into the golden shovel, and we have to add a new line for a new block. So we're going to do that, add a new line, and make sure you add that comma in. We're going to call this the slab. Remember, we're going to look for the slab now. Now we're going to make a damage value of 4. So we're going to take our calculator out and do 4 divided by 32. Remember, 32 is the total amount of damage you can have, and 4 being the 4th damage. So 125 in this case. 4 divided by 32 is 0.125. So from there, we'll just save that, all good, exit out of that. That's all good, ready to go. So now we're going to copy this refined slab.json and paste it into our custom blocks like so. We're going to copy this refined cobblestone and we're going to paste that there. We're going to call that refined cobblestone and underscore slab. Perfect. So let's go into the properties file, edit this. So now we're going to look for one that says refined cobblestone slab. Then we're going to take refined cobblestone and change it to slab. Remember, still keeping all the other attributes the same. It's an item, it's a spawn egg, but instead we're just giving it a different model, the slab, and we're going to give it the refined, and we're looking for the name refined cobblestone slab. So if we exit these, go back down into here. Now remember, what we have to do is edit the JSON file within the custom blocks first. We'll edit this one, so we'll bring this up into here, and remember, this doesn't actually have any of the display tags that we need. So let's take the refined cobblestone. So now we've got all of these tags here. We'll take these. Remember, this is just for changing all of this is how it displays in the inventory. Now, keep in mind this was only for Optifine if you're using that. So if you're not, then don't worry about this part. Just keep going on. So now that we have that done, these two match perfectly, those tags. All good. Let's close these off. And now let's go back into our normal item folder. So we'll take the cobblestone slab, edit with Notepad, and we'll also take our previous refined cobblestone. So now we just got to take this tag here, the display tag. This just makes sure that it displays as a block while on the head of a small armor stand. So now that that's done, that's all saved, all perfect, all done. All of the commas and things like that are already done. So let's close these off. That's all done. And let's head back into Minecraft and check out our new creation. Alrighty, so we're back in Minecraft now. So let's create our new block. So first of all, we have to reload the resource packs with F3 and T. Now we just give it a little bit of time to make sure they can sort through the file system, get everything it needs ready, and it should be loading any second now. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is copy this command block again to give us the spawn egg that we want. So in this case, we'll just place it down here. And now we've got to change a couple of things. So we're going to call, instead of the rabbit being RCBBL, we're going to call RCBBL slab. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And then we're going to change the name to refined cobblestone slab. Remember, that was what the tag was looking for. So if we do that, now we can see that we've got the slab in our inventory. Perfect. Now let's work on the placing technique. Let's break that. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to move the sword out of the way for the moment. I'm just going to grab these 4 command blocks, just like so. Boom. Let's head over here. And first of all, let's place down our testing command block. Remember, the rabbit is called RCBBL slab now. So that's what we're going to call it. All good. Done. And then the second command block, we're going to change that also to RCBBL slab. So we've got over here, slab. And now we've got to create armor stand with a different name. So in this case, block 3. And everything else is pretty much all the same. All good. Let's just take a quick look through it. Now we've got to change this. Instead of being blue ore, we're going to change it to refined cobblestone slab. Then down here, going to go a bit further. And the custom name is not ore. It's going to be RCBBL slab. And then just further along, make sure everything's good. Yep, looks pretty good to me, the arm items. Now we just got to change the way this renders. So remember, we had the damage value of 4. So let's do that. Damage at 4. Perfect. Let's move on to the next command block. Move it here. Now RCBBL, now we're going to change it to slab. Now we're going to change the cauldron from a slab to something else. So, let's have a look at what items we can deal with over here. So in terms of slabs, we've got all of these options. But considering it's this type of stone, we're going to use this one over here. So that one is just stone underscore slab. Perfect. So let's do that. head back over to our command block, and instead of cauldron, we'll do stone slab. Perfect. And now the third one, we'll just change RCBBL to RCBBL slab. Done. Now we're done with the placing. Let's grab our destroy, like so. And first one, we'll place this down. Remember, this is the one that looks for the entity, block 3. That was the armor stand. And then we'll go from there, and we're just detecting the air underneath, and then killing that entity. All good. I'm just going to turn it to needs redstone for the moment, just so that this command block doesn't constantly run. And from here, all we have to do is go to the start. The spawn egg, we're going to change that to refined cobblestone and slab. And then the entity data inside of it is a rabbit. Make sure everything's okay. Oh, RCBBL, we've got to change it to slab. Looks pretty good. The custom name, yep, that's all good. Perfect. Now we're going to change that to conditional. And now we can change this one back to always active. Place the last one down, which is just removing, instead of a cauldron this time, we have a stone slab. Perfect. And now we're all done. So if we place this down, boom, we have ourselves a new slab. Oh, that's a little bit better. But you can see that works perfectly now. All of these are perfect. Cool. Looks good. Alrighty. So that was it's pretty simple. You can make slabs and all sorts of things, and these even work as normal slabs. You can stand on top of them, so forth. And you can even create full blocks of them. But the problem is you get this little bit of a weird glitch here, where you have to actually kill the entity because it's a little bit of a bug. Equals 3. There we go, like that. It's just a little bit of a bug at the moment. We're going to have to rectify that pretty soon. But if we just kill these armor stands off, like so. It's a little bit of a bug with the slabs. That'll be rectified in the future. But you will be able to place those on top of each other. But so far, that's worked so pretty damn well. We've got ourselves some slabs. They're workable. And they will destroy and work perfectly. And we even made ourselves our own custom block. The whole block. This is pretty cool. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial today. And I'll leave the link to the resource pack in the description. It'll have all today's work in it. And go ahead, modify the files, do whatever you want, copy them. Have fun. Just, if you make any really cool creations, post them to me on Twitter at engineers_box. And I'd love to see them anytime soon. Alrighty guys, as always, I'll catch you guys in the nearest futures.